3 most dangerous American cars. Actually, this will surprise you. Not all American classic cars are as great as they seem. Behind the chrome and horsepower, some of these cars hid serious dangers, deadly flaws that cost lives and shocked the world. These 3 American cars weren't just risky, they were a real menace on the road. Get ready, some of them will definitely surprise you. Support the channel by subscribing, and liking your support gives us great motivation to make more and more cool reviews and stories about them. Well, and we'll start watching the video. Thank you. Number 3, 1965, Pontiac Catalina 2+2. The 1965 Catalina 2+2 was Pontiac's sneaky way of hiding brutal performance inside a big, comfortable body. Marketed as the big brother to the GTO, the 2+2 packed serious muscle, but forgot to upgrade some critical things, like brakes. Horsepower ranged from 338 horsepower to 376 horsepower with the tri-power setup, and 3 two-barrel carbs, 3-speed automatic transmission. This was serious firepower for the mid-60s, especially in a full-size car. Floor it, and you could roast the tires without even trying. The 2+2 could sprint to 60 miles per hour in around 7 seconds, astonishing for a car that weighed over 4,000 pounds. It used mostly the same braking system as a standard Catalina, meaning smallish drum brakes all around. After 1 or 2 panic stops, brake fade became terrifyingly real. Handling was fine for gentle cruising, but throw it into a turn, and you felt every pound of that massive body. Bucket seats and console were standard 2+2, badging dual exhausts. Heavy-duty suspension tuning, but not enough to make it a true sports car. It was half luxury cruiser, half muscle car, appealing to buyers who wanted comfort and speed without shouting about it. The 2+2 never reached the legend status of the GTO, mostly because full-size performance cars were fading by the late 60s. However, today, a 421 tri-power 2+2 is a rare and desirable classic, especially because so many were driven hard and lost to history. The 1965 Catalina 2+2 was Pontiac muscle at maximum volume, but only in a straight line. Fast? Absolutely. Safe? That was more of a suggestion, a true gentleman's muscle car, if you didn't mind praying when you hit the brakes. Number 2, 1971, Ford LTD. The 1971 Ford LTD marked the beginning of Ford's bigger is better phase. It was a full-size luxury sedan loaded with comfort, but also packed serious engineering flaws that made it risky when pushed even slightly beyond casual cruising. Standard options included big V8s, like the 351 Windsor, with upgrades available to the 400, and even the massive 429 cubic-inch V8. Horsepower ranged from around 250 horsepower to over 370 horsepower depending on engine choice and emissions equipment. Smooth, quiet cruising was the goal, not spirited driving. While the LTD could move surprisingly quickly for its size in a straight line, it had serious issues. Massive curb weight, well over 4,000 pounds, depending on options. Poor weight distribution. A heavy nose, due to the big engine, made handling unbalanced and twitchy. Soft suspension tuning. Great for soaking up bumps, but terrible for emergency maneuvers or quick directional changes. In sudden moves, like accident avoidance, the car could sway violently, oversteer unpredictably, or feel like it was floating, completely detached from driver inputs. Plush bench seats, thick soundproofing, optional air conditioning, cruise control, and early luxury tech touches. However, Safety was more of a marketing line than reality. Seatbelts were optional and often ignored. Rollover protection, practically non-existent. Braking systems struggled to haul the car down from highway speeds effectively. Today, the 1971 LTD is remembered as a relic of the era when size equaled status. But handling and crash safety were afterthoughts. In its day, it sold well because it was affordable luxury. But from a modern perspective, it's an example of why car design had to evolve quickly. Number 1, 1962 Chrysler Imperial Crown. The 1962 Imperial Crown was the flagship of Chrysler's luxury lineup, aiming to challenge Cadillac and Lincoln. It looked bold, had massive presence, and came loaded with power. But despite its incredible size and luxury, it was a beast to control, especially at highway speeds, making it a dangerous machine in the wrong hands. Horsepower. Around 340 horsepower, with 470 pound-feet of torque. Tons of low-end grunt. Transmission. Smooth torque-a-flight. 3-speed automatic. Acceleration was impressive for such a huge car, but the Imperial Crown wasn't built for agility. It was all about straight-line luxury cruising. Slow, over-assisted power steering made low-speed turns effortless, but at high speeds, it was vague and numb. Brakes. Massive drum brakes front and rear, but fade quickly after a few hard stops. Weight. Nearly 5,000 pounds curb weight made emergency maneuvers difficult and dangerous. Handling. Floaty suspension tuned for ride comfort, not control. It would wallow badly in curves and react slowly in emergencies. At highway speeds, if you had to swerve or brake suddenly, the 1962 Imperial handled like a runaway freight train. And stopping it in time was basically a prayer, optional air-temp air conditioning, ahead of its time. Push-button gear selectors, stylish but tricky to use quickly in panic situations. Unique freestanding headlights and bold, exaggerated styling. Very jet age. It felt futuristic and luxurious. But the technology behind it was still stuck in the past when it came to handling dynamics. When something went wrong, brake failure, steering loss, or simply a distracted driver, the size and weight of the Imperial made accidents devastating. There were no crumple zones or modern crash protection.